नमस्कार विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, आज आपण CO2 ट्रान्सपोर्ट बघणार आहोत आणि त्याच्यानंतर CO2 ट्रान्सपोर्टसोबत क्लोराइड शिफ्ट किंवा हॅम्बर्गर्स फेनॉमेनॉन किंवा लिनियस फेनॉमेनॉन शिकणार आहोत. इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड ॲज क्लोराइड शिफ्ट. सो लेट अस सी CO2 transport. In previous lectures we are already learned on the surface of alveoli whatever exchange of gases takes place. From that O2 is loaded on the hemoglobin and that hemoglobin is carried to all parts of our body. So by this way O2 is get transported from lungs to all parts of the body. So let us see next part, that is the CO2 transport. Where it is get produced? It is produced in all the tissues where metabolic activities takes place. So by the different metabolic activities daily in man, in adult man, normal man, about 200 ml of CO2 is produced per minute. And as we know, CO2 is toxic to us. So it has to be removed out from our body. So who does that? Who is doing that continuously and constantly in our body? The CO2 is transported by blood from tissue to lungs, and thereafter again that CO2 is get eliminated into lung alveoli, and thereafter it is get expired out. So let us see the CO2 transport. Actually this CO2 is get transported by three different ways. First and most is the bicarbonates. When CO2 is produced in the cells within the protoplasm, H2O molecules are abundant and extracellular fluid, it has also abundant H2O molecules. Some CO2 from the tissues get diffused into the extracellular fluid. Here it dissolves here and it forms H2CO3. It is called as it is called as carbonic acid, and this carbonic acid, it is again dissociated into H plus and HCO3 minus. These are the bicarbonates. So these bicarbonates are formed in the plasma, and these bicarbonates are transported through the RBCs also. So here about 85% of the CO2 is transported by this way. It is called as bicarbonate method, or in the form of bicarbonates they are transported from tissue to lungs. Then in solution or in plasma, actually 5 to 7% of CO2 is directly dissolved into the solution, into the plasma, into the water which is present in the blood, and here whatever CO2 is get dissolved, it forms carbonic acid, and this carbonic acid is transported to the lungs. So this is also another way to carry CO2 from tissue to lung alveoli. Then third one is the carbamino compounds. By this way also about 10% of CO2 is transported. The carbamino means what? It is carbamino, or you can say carbamino. Carb means CO2 amino. We know these proteins, they are having amino ends, and when CO2 combine with that, it forms COOH. So by this way one H shifted to that and CO2 is get attached here. That means CO2 binds with the amino group, hence they are called as carb amino compounds or carbamino compounds. So by this way also 10% of CO2 is get transported from tissue to lungs. One more thing is that here carboxy hemoglobins are also there. Carboxy hemoglobins, they are also formed here. What is in by carboxy hemoglobin? Sometimes in tissues, CO, carbon monoxide, is also produced, but it is in very small proportion, about 0.5 to 1% only. So here it directly combines with HB and it is called as carboxy hemoglobin. Carboxy hemoglobin. After that, here 10%, 5%, 85% means by this way, whatever CO2 is produced in our body, it is get transported to the lungs via blood. Now what happened here? At the time of transportation, how that bicarbonates are formed and how that CO2 is get transported, that we will learn by another way. Suppose that these are the cells, and in these cells metabolic activities are going on, and due to the metabolic activities, whatever CO2 is produced, it will get diffused into the protoplasm as well as into the extracellular fluid, and in that CO2 is dissolved into the water molecules, and here this reversible reaction takes place and it forms H2CO3. This H2CO3, we call it as a carbonic acid. This carbonic acid again dissociate into H plus and HCO3 minus in a very small proportion, but here this thing going on in the plasma. So let us keep in our mind up to this only. At the same time, some amount of CO2, it is directly entered into the RBCs. These are the RBCs, and here suppose that this is the capillary, and within this capillary, whatever RBCs are moving, in which hemoglobin is there. Now hemoglobin is here, it comes along with the loaded O2. But whatever CO2 is produced by the cells, it is get diffused into the extracellular fluid. From here it is diffused into the capillaries, and from capillaries it enters into the RBCs. Now this CO2 combines with H2 molecules, and thus there is a formation of carbonic acid, means CO2 plus H2O, and that there is a formation of H2CO3, carbonic acid. This reaction becomes very faster in the RBCs. It is about 5,000 to 13,000 times faster than the plasma. So here this reaction occurs due to the presence of enzyme carbonic anhydrase. Now this H2CO3 which is formed here, it is very unstable. Again it dissociates into H plus and HCO3 minus. Now this H plus directly absorbed by the hemoglobin, and hence here that there is a formation of reduced hemoglobin HHB, so that pH of RBCs is get maintained. At the same time, this O2, it will be liberated into the fluid which is present here, and that O2 is supplied to the cells, right? Whatever CO2 is produced in the cells, how it is get transported inside the RBC, and after this reaction O2 is liberated and HB come in contact with the H plus, or H plus absorbs by the HB, and that there is a formation of reduced hemoglobin. At the same time here also, this O2 is dissociated and O2 is liberated or O2 is diffused into the cells. And it is supplied or it is diffused into the surrounding fluid or surrounding cells wherever necessary. Here, when this reaction takes place, at the same time, some amount of CO2 is directly attached or directly combines with the hemoglobin. That is called as carboxyhemoglobin. Previously we learned, what is that? Carbamino compound, right? So, sorry, this is also carbamino compound. So, what is the name of this carbamino compound? Carbamino hemoglobin. Carb. It is attached to the amino group of the globin protein. And hence, here it forms carbamino hemoglobin. Or you can say carbamino hemoglobin. So, by this way, in the RBCs, HB play an important role in carrying CO2. It directly carries most of the CO2 by this way, and most of the HB, it absorbs H plus and bicarbonate formation takes place, and these bicarbonates are transported via blood. Now, again very important thing is that when these HCO3 minus ions are formed, here this membrane of RBC is very peculiar one. It allows only anions and cations like Na plus, K plus, they could not able to enter into the RBCs. I think you have already learnt recently Dona equilibrium in botany. What is that? This membrane is a selective semi-permeable membrane. It allows negatively charged molecules into the cells, but it do not allow to pass any positively charged molecules from that. So what happens here? These HCO3 minus ions, they increases, and if they increases here, to maintain the electrical neutrality, it has to be removed out. So here, this is get removed by the membrane of RBC, but this is not so much easy. So here Cl minus ions are there. So this reaction is mediated by the Cl minus. And what happens here? Cl minus enters inside the cell and HCO3 minus ions are coming out of the cells. So by this way here, Cl minus ion enters into the RBC to maintain the electrical neutrality. So this is called as chloride shift. Once again, I am repeating in very short. By the metabolic activities of the cells, whatever CO2 is produced, it is get diffused into the extracellular fluid, or after it enters into the blood plasma. Here RBCs, in which hemoglobin is present, they are absorbing that CO2, some part of CO2, it combines with carboxyhemoglobin. But here, after the entry of CO2 molecules, very fastly H2CO3 means carbonic acid is formed here due to the presence of carbonic anhydrase enzyme, and due to that this unstable molecule again dissociate into H plus and HCO3 minus ions. Thereafter, to maintain the electrical neutrality, here this membrane is a selective semi-permeable membrane one, so it do not allow to enter any kind of cations inside it. So Na plus, K plus, they could not able to enter into the cell. So here it is removed out from the RBCs, and this is mediated by the Cl minus ions, and hence Cl minus enters inside it and HCO3 minus ions are discharged out of the cells. This reaction takes place very fastly. Within a second, that entire reaction has been completed. This is called as Hamburger's phenomenon. Hamburger phenomenon, or it is also called as Linnaeus phenomenon, or it is also called as chloride shift, or it is also called as chloride shift. When CO2 enters inside the cell, Cl also enters inside the cell, right? I hope this is sufficient for your understanding. If you have any doubt, please send me your email on drkiranrao@gmail.com. It's okay.